What's up, YouTube? It's your boy DR2727. Shout out to my Transformers collectors, 1/12 scale collector, whatever you collect, shout out to you. And we've already done a video for July 2023. It's where I ranked all the live action movies from worst to first, so go check that out. This video is just a quick thoughts of what we saw at TfCon Toronto this weekend. Like I said, it's not everything, just things that I thought that were really cool. And before we get started, most of the pictures come from Third Party Unlimited. Shout out to Antoine. And TM Reviews. Shout out to Sony. Thanks, guys. And let's go on and start with the GOAT, like Fans Toys. Y'all know I'm a Fans Toys fanboy. And if it ain't Fans Toys, is it really a masterpiece? First off, they showed their Scourge, their gears, their pipes, and their swerving. Looks amazing. And we're going to talk about these individually. So first, let's talk about Scourge. I think that he is the picture of perfection. Like, that paint job is wow. Pops off. It looks better than words can describe. My only gripe is that I hope he comes with a stand. I think for a figure that's that well looking, he needs to have a stand to display in both modes. Second, let's talk about Swerve. Swerve looks perfect. That chrome makes him look so mature, so much more premium than any other version. Bad Cube, ideal version of it. It looks wonderful. Let's go to Pipes. I think that's standard issue for Pipes. I think he looks much better than the previous incarnations of Pipes. I think he's just another solid release. I think that's, Fans Toys operating at Fans Toys level. And lastly is Gears. I think Gears looks the worst out of them, but for the right reason. I think he looks the way he walked off the tune, even if I didn't really want that per se. I think for all you tune heads, I think he looks the way you want him to look. I think that if I had to rank these, I think that I went in the order of how they ranked. I think Scourge looks the best, then Swerve, then Pipes, then Gears. One last thing to Fans Toys, please give Swerve on My First Blaster. He's incomplete without one. Next up is Bandit, their version of Dead End. And I think he looks great. Really don't have too much to say about him, but I think it's good fan service for Fans Toys to show this guy, to show that they're working on him, that he'll be out pretty soon. I think this leads us to combine mode, where I actually have more thoughts about. So they are releasing this Minosaur Motormaster and the trailer. It's not an extra trailer for Motormaster like they originally said. I think that whole thing is the combined torso, and I think that was one of the changes they need to work out. I personally think they had to do two things. I think they added it more die cast to make it more stable and to be able to support the weight. And I think they had to add extra parts to make sure it supported the weight, and that's why originally they said it was just going to be a trailer. I think that this full Motormaster with double trailer is the full kind of frame for it, and I think that they had to go back and kind of redesign that to support the weight. But I'm fine for it. I'm all good for it. The interesting thing will be to see how much it costs. I'm not really a big cost person, but it'll be interesting to see how the fans take this once they add an extra piece you need to buy, kind of like x-transbots did, because it seems like they're going to make Dead End one purchase and make this trailer / extra Motormaster another purchase. As far as combined mode, I think it looks fantastic. I'll probably personally display mine a couple of ways, like the G1 style, but have the cars on the front. I'm just a little concerned about the articulation because I don't see how the arms are going to go 90 degrees out, but that really doesn't matter. Most of us I don't have that much space in my display, so either way, it'll look good. It'll be a standout piece in my display. Next up is Slingshot and Fireflight, and they both look really good. All the aerobots have looked really good. I think the interesting thing with these will be to see if they do the same thing as they did with the drag strip and what they're going to do with the Dead End, where like you just stretch them out and they fit around the frame of the skeleton and like the elbow is built in, or since they won't split in half. I'd just be interested to see how they do them as arms for the combined mode. But they look great. The team looks great all together. They've already showed that the Superior frame will be a flight stand for all of them, which if you want to display them in alt mode is good. Superior looks good. So they didn't show as much about him, but I'm fine with waiting on that. But all in all, these look good. They may be the weaker of the 5 aerobots, but I think they look good. MMC had a really strong TfCon too, and it started with them having their release of their Eject, kind of their early release of it. So it looks decent if you like that. I'm not a big fan of the remix series for the tapes, but hey, if you like them, good for you. You get to get Eject. They showed their Defensor, and I think their Defensor has the same problems that their Bruticus had, and their Bruticus was one of the worst combiners I ever had. I think it doesn't scale in combined mode, and because of Hotspot, which they also showed at TfCon, he doesn't scale in bot mode, and it looks like Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, and it just never looks good. It doesn't function well. I mean, MMC, besides the problems they normally have with lack of paint, lack of kind of presentation and presence, like the all-in-one series has basically been, hey, it's good in theory, doesn't really work in practice. It's a cool idea that can never really work practically. except when they showed the Mix Master and the Devastator. Now, instead of having 5 bots, if you have 6 bots, I think the all-in-one concept, the gimmick can work better. And I'm very interested to see this. I might even get this because I'd be interested to see, because now in this world, all the bots should scale correctly and the combine mode should have a better chance of scaling with other combiners. So it'll be interesting to see. I'm definitely keeping my eye on this. I potentially may get it, not sure yet. But I think that this is where all-in-one can work with a 6-bot combiner. Fans Hobby came through and they did what they do. Salute them for sticking in their lane. And they showed their tidal wave. And I don't know that much about the character other than he's a Decepticon. He's from Armada and he's huge. But I've been excited to see this guy. And I actually think I'm going to get him. Because the last time I seen him do an ultra huge character, which was their Overlord, it was a fantastic piece. I got to handle that and it was a really nice piece. So I'm really interested in the tidal wave character to see how he turns out. Last up on the lighter note is Dr. Wu, and I'm not talking about the small figures. I'm actually interested in their scraplets. I think that this is a cool way to keep yourself relevant through different iterations of Transformers. As scraplets weren't in G1, but they were in other iterations of Transformers. And I think that this is something that they should be doing a lot of supplemental pieces. And those are the things that interested me in TfCon Toronto 2023. It's pretty light, and I think that's because of changing times, but also I think because more of the juicy reveals are done at the East Coast or Midwest show, the October TfCon show. So if you want the real tea, wait till the end or whatever. But all in all, glad to see fans towards this progression with the combiners and the other figures they've talked about. I always wondered about MMC, but hey, it was surprising no x-transbots was there. But overall, we're in a good direction. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thank you as always.